Have you ever stopped to think about why you eat what you eat? I mean, really think about it. Today, we are going on a fascinating journey across the globe to figure out the incredible stories hidden right there on our plates.
Seriously, that meal you just had? It says a lot about you. It's not just calories. It's a story about where you live, what you believe, and the culture you come from. Your plate is talking, and we're about to learn its language.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We'll start by looking at how our location shapes our diet. Then we'll dive into how personal philosophies and even faith guide what we eat. After that, we'll get super practical with some real-world tips for healthy living. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by thinking about your own food story.
Okay, first up, geography. You could say this is the original diet plan, right? What grows nearby, what the climate allows, what your ancestors have been eating for centuries, all of this creates the foundation of what we think of as local food.
And a perfect example of this, the famous Mediterranean diet. We're talking about a huge region, from Spain all the way to the Middle East. It's consistently ranked as one of the healthiest ways to eat on the entire planet, and it's linked to a longer, healthier life. It's so much more than a diet. It's a whole way of life.
So just look at this. What's amazing is how simple and, well, delicious it is. It's all about fresh, whole foods, a ton of plants, healthy fats like amazing olive oil, lean proteins, and you'll notice the stuff we often eat a lot of is way up at the top in small amounts. This approach is so culturally important, it's actually recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage. How cool is that?
Now let's hop over to Japan, another place well known for longevity. Here, the traditional diet is all about balance, freshness, and presentation. And they have this incredible cultural concept called hara hachibu. It basically means you eat until you're about 80% full. Think about it. It's like built-in, mindful portion control.
And if you look at the breakdown here, it's pretty clear. The diet is rich in things like fermented foods, fish, and lots of fresh veggies. But now look at what it's low in. Dairy, red meat, and here's a big one, processed foods. It's a totally different flavor profile from the Mediterranean. But guess what? It leads to the same incredible health outcomes.
And this just goes to show you there are so many different paths to eating well. You've got the Nordic diet, full of hearty fish and root vegetables. The West African diet, with staples like yams and rice. Even the French diet, yes, with its cheese and wine, can be healthy because they focus on small portions and super fresh ingredients. The common thread, the real enemy in all of this? Processed foods.
Okay, let's shift gears. We've talked about how location shapes our food, but what about our beliefs? This is where things get really personal. We're moving from diets of place to diets of principle, where what we eat is a statement about our ethics, our health, and our relationship with the planet.
Of course, the two big ones you probably know are vegetarianism and veganism. A vegetarian approach avoids meat and fish, typically rooted in the idea of not killing animals for food. Veganism takes that principle a big step further. It's a whole lifestyle aimed at avoiding all forms of animal exploitation. So that means no meat, fish, eggs, dairy, or even things like honey.
But oh, it doesn't stop there. You have the macrobiotic diet, which is all about finding harmony with nature through simple, seasonal foods. Then there's the raw food diet, based on the belief that cooking destroys vital nutrients, and the paleo diet, which tries to mimic what our ancient hunter-gatherer ancestors ate. See? Each one is built around its own unique philosophy.
Now, moving beyond personal philosophy, faith gives a dietary guide to literally billions of people. For so many, food is deeply connected to spiritual practice, community, and identity. It's not just about what you eat, it's a part of who you are.
So let's do a quick tour. In Hinduism, the deep respect for all life means many people are vegetarian, with the cow being held as particularly sacred. Many Buddhists also choose vegetarianism to avoid harming any living creature. And in both Islam, with its halal laws, and Judaism, with kosher laws, you find detailed rules about everything from how an animal is treated to which foods can never share a plate. So you see, these aren't just rules, they are profound expressions of faith.
Whew. Okay, we've talked geography, philosophy, and faith, but if you strip all of that away, what's left? Well, at its most basic level, food is simply fuel. And it turns out there are some pretty universal rules for fueling our bodies in the best way possible.
So let's get down to brass tacks. It doesn't matter where you're from or what you believe. These are straightforward, science-backed tips that can make a real difference for just about anyone. You've probably heard these a million times, but that's because they work. Keeping an eye on portion sizes, making sure you get plenty of fruits and vegetables, and not skipping breakfast can totally change your energy levels. And seriously, cutting back on salt and sugary drinks is one of the biggest favors you can do for your future self. Simple stuff, but incredibly powerful.
And it's not just about the food. You have to stay hydrated. Water is key. Also, be careful with supplements. Most of us can get everything we need from our food. And please, steer clear of those crazy fad diets. They often ask you to cut out entire food groups, which just isn't sustainable and can leave you missing out on important nutrients. And remember, health is holistic. Get active and get outside. It's all connected.
So, after our trip around the world of food, what have we learned? What's the big idea we can take away from all of this? Let's bring it all home.
This, right here, is the key. This is the big takeaway. It doesn't matter if you're eating Mediterranean, Japanese, or something else entirely. The healthiest ways of eating all over the world have one thing in common. They are built on fresh, whole, real food. Food that comes from the ground, not from a factory.
And that brings us back to you. After all of this, what's your food story? What does your plate say about your home, your values, and your life? Taking a moment to think about that might just be the most important ingredient there is.